We've missed you, Jason.
Teenage Engineering dropped the OPXY, and I'm not gonna lie, I got that gas. And not that kind of gas, I got the gear acquisition syndrome to the max. What can I say? I am kind of a sucker for cool design. But after researching a little bit and finding out what the dollar amount was, $2,300, completely not worth it. Let's face it, I could buy a whole new ass computer, get Ableton, and I could do basically all the functions that OPXY can do. And I think that's a little important to keep in mind here. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that you shouldn't get the OPXY. Man, if you got the money, you like it, man, buy that shit. Who gives a fuck? But after all this, it did get me thinking about, what about all the other teenage engineering products that I already currently have? Sometimes I feel like whenever a company, in this case Teenage Engineering, drops a new product, it kinda makes the products you already own feel obsolete. And the gas will sometimes make you feel that way in a weird way. Quick little story, a few years ago I bought the original OP1 off of Craigslist, and literally like a year later the OP1 field dropped, and I remember thinking, fuck, I should have just waited just a little bit and then I could have gotten this. Don't get me wrong, I love the OP1, and at the end of the day I just like made the music on the OP1 and like the tracks that I made, but for whatever reason, the OP1 field made me feel like, oh man, I needed to get this. But after looking at some content and looking at the things that they did to upgrade it, the upgrades that they did to the OP1 field wasn't going to improve my workflow, and it definitely wasn't going to make my music any better. I felt like
OP1 field
sort of like repackaged OP1 with a little minor tweaks here and there. The shininess of the latest and greatest will always be fleeting, and I think that's important to keep in mind. And I know that's a little ironic as you look into this fucking place with all the shit that I'm surrounded with, but at the end of the day, you don't really need a whole bunch of shit to make music. Sometimes I feel like synth companies or guitar companies or pedal companies or whatever will make you feel inadequate in a way that, like, if you don't have this certain thing, your music will not be as good as it can be, and that's not necessarily true. Because at the end of the day, what is the point of getting musical instruments? It's to make music. I think there's way too many people out here buying way too much shit and not making any art out of it. These are just tools to make music. So today I am just going to divert my eyes away from music products, and I'm not saying that I'm not gonna buy any music products. It's just, as of right now, I just need to, like, don't worry about the gear as much as just make shit with the stuff that you already got. To prove my point, I am going to make a beat with this original OP1 goated fucking synth and my other Teenage Engineering instrument, the KO2.
the next day.
think I'm gonna re-record, or I'm gonna record every single one of my little drum sounds and then rearrange it, because I don't know, the mixing on the original kit sounds a little weird, but I am gonna keep the little effects that I did. Alright, so I think that's it. I mean, I'm just gonna rearrange it, and as usual, you know, I'll have the final song at the end, or the final beat at the end, but those are basically all the ideas. As you can see, you can make something completely, I mean, something that sounds kind of modern, in my opinion, with all of your old shit. You don't necessarily need all the new shit all the time, and that's a point I was trying to make. I don't know if it came across correctly, but again, this isn't, I'm not trying to be all preachy. You can get whatever the fuck you want, man. I think it's just important to not get wrapped up in all the new shit with like new plugins or new hardware or new whatever, and it's something that I also have to constantly remind myself of as well. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you later. This is the final beat. I'm gonna also try to do a switch up with this one. I'm gonna try to make it a little different. But anyway, now I'm done. I'll see you later. Bye.
We've missed you, Jason.
Are you ready to apologize? Are you ready to grovel at my feet and beg for forgiveness?
Hey baby, let's have some fun.
Un pigeon regrettait son frère, moi je regrette mon bel